Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got a lot to talk about, and always do. Great company, North American Solutions. The president and CEO, Jack Melton. He's both a regular on the radio show and frequently found on the TV show. Real quickly, tell us the story about North American Solutions.
Well, North American Solutions provides insurance and risk management services for schools, and our family company serves more than 4,000 schools nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Now, you always say schools, but the reality is you're interested in other public entities as well, and looking at some of those other public entities. Talk about what some of those other ones that you're looking at.
We are. You know, it's interesting. We have had a public entity general focus for quite a while. The truth is we write about 95% schools in some counties, and we've actually been narrowing our focus lately to more schools, charter schools, public schools, private schools, VOTEC schools. There's a lot of market segments to explore there. And we're really school specialists.
Right. And it's a property primarily. Is
property,
what you property
casualty, and workers' compensation.
Yeah. And what is unique about those type of institutions that require a niche focus like yours?
You know, there's a lot of expertise required in number one, they're public entities. There's a lot of tort claim laws in effect that apply sovereign immunity with schools. A lot of specialties that don't apply to your private industry or really other governmental entities. Schools, for example, have complete sovereign immunity in Texas from slip and falls or someone, even a child, something severely happening to a child. Schools are not liable.
Right.
But the return on that is that schools pay a lot less insurance premiums because they're not having to be liable for those types of claims. You take Louisiana, where we do a lot of business, those schools are paying 25 times the premium that Texas schools pay. So it's that old argument of should the dollars go to insurance or should they go to educate students?
Right, absolutely. That's a good question, the $1 million question.
It is.
Sometimes millions, depending on who fell.
Very.
Or how they fell.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so it's very interesting. So you're a very visionary kind of leader. That's the impression I get from the times we've come together, and I love when you talk about the expansion and the growth. Mm-hmm. What does 2016 look like? What are you trying to do to, further the size of your footprint?
Well, we want to expand geographically, and whether we're expanding with new clients or to new territory, it's all about the right people, finding that right cultural fit, professionalism, integrity, fundamentals, strong fundamentals. But at the end of the day, it's partnering with the right people.
What's the challenges for private schools, working with them versus the government schools? How are the challenges different? I would assume with the government schools, you got a lot more bureaucracy involved. Right. But what are some of the differences and challenges in the two? Regulation
is the big one. The private schools aren't nearly as regulated, particularly the charter schools. So it's a lot more unknowns from the insurance company's perspective. So finding markets that are interested in those exposures, they're not nearly as available as public schools, where it's just much more of a known exposure. But they don't have tort protection, so there's a lot of unique challenges they face as opposed to public entities.
Yeah, but as a result, they're probably paying significantly less than the public entities.
They are.
And life's full of trade-offs.
Right, exactly.
So, people look at the cost of private school per student when you take out the government factor is significantly less than almost any government school. Insurance is one of the reasons why.
Absolutely.
It's just a fixed cost of doing business.
Sure.
So what kind of events or things are you focusing on this time of the year?
Well, this time of the year, we have our big school conventions where the school risk managers get together. We'll be in Dallas next week where we host a client dinner for about 200 people. We also are a strategic sponsor of the convention, so we're giving a lot of educational talks to their members and try to bring some value to them from a continuing education perspective. And it's a good opportunity to get together with all of our service partners and just do some really strong networking.
Yeah, so it sounds like a great opportunity. Do want to encourage people to learn more, nasrisk.com.
Right.
Yeah, make sure you check it out, North American Solutions. Great company. Jack Melton's a great guy. You're going to see him more and more often here on this and also on the radio program. Do want to remind you, best content here, including this interview, will be found over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.